Let's do it. Let's do it to it. Pepe, I need professionalism tonight. I need professionalism. Okay? Nothing but genuine 110%. Sweat it out. Professionalism. Squeeze it. Put it in a rag. Put it in some vials. Sell it on eBay. That's what I'm looking for, okay? All right. Thank you, Pepe. All right. Hello and welcome, my beautiful, beautiful people. Welcome to DG360. Welcome to fun. If you're watching on YouTube, we're sorry you couldn't make it live. Go over to our Twitch channel. Check out the sketch. I put it down there. It is 100% all the time. If it's not, come hunt me down. Come at me. And you're going to see what's going to happen. You're not going to like that. Don't do it. I swear, don't do it. All right. Tonight, some Inside Star Citizen review. And it's only 8 minutes long, so I'm a little bit salty right from the start. I like when they're at least 11 minutes. That's a sweet pocket zone. We're at 8 minutes. Already feels a little short, you know. Doesn't feel like it's going to satisfy right from the beginning. Who likes that? It's like when you're looking for something in the fridge and you've got something in mind, say like something from Thanksgiving. Say leftovers from Thanksgiving. And instead, when you open up the fridge and your desire, thank you, Thank you, Dead to Rights. Thank you for this charge, this professional charge happening right now. Please excuse the Vikings, everybody. Please excuse the Vikings. Let them in. It's okay. Thank you so much, Dead to Rights. I appreciate you, man. Have the Viking fellows sit down in various areas. No pillaging. No pillaging. All right. So, are we ready for some Inside Star Citizen review? Let's do it. Let's see what it's about. I'm really curious.
Our goal for the last half year has been to figure out how to build additional cave archetypes. Not only trying to establish the visual, but also define a new workflow on how—
I love this accent. Can I just say I love this accent right now? You know, I know people get upset when I interrupt the video, but this is the channel that you're on. So if you don't like interruptions, you should probably leave right now. I love this accent. Okay. It's very German. He knows what he's doing. It's very exact. It's everything must be in perfect order or they will be whipped if I do not have perfect structure. I love it. I love this accent. I feel like this man can design anything right now. Anything.
How we can make better looking, better performing caves. The new workflow we've figured out for the caves is much more artist friendly, and to a point even—
I keep my walls all in white with slight off color gray, slight taupe. This keeps me in a neutral zone to make the best design ever. Who is this? Sebastian Schroeder, principal environment artist. Wow. Have we ever seen him before on an Inside Star Citizen? I think maybe one time.
Even where designers can make entire cave rooms without necessarily needing an artist to do any work.
Good to see
The
you guys
designer
on
could
stream.
go in and build
Thanks for
like
chilling
a
out,
white
guys.
box room and send this to the Houdini process, which will then return an almost finished cave room. For the first release, there will be new—
This boring room, Broccoli, is how I get my inspiration. It's all neutral, Broccoli. All neutral colors. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this, Broccoli. Everybody knows this.
sand caves on Staymire, which is like the prime candidate, being a very desert planet. But they will also be going on Magda, Ita, Wala, and Hurston itself. One thing we really liked about the old caves was that they always had this feeling of claustrophobia, and we tried to keep that in some regards.
Yes, yes. We don't want perfectly... Like, we need imperfection. We need chaos.
Another thing that was always a concern at the old ones was that it was very bumpy to walk through them.
What's up, Odin?
So one thing we definitely improved on is walking through
Sorry,
them and traversing the space is much smoother and feels nicer in general. Also, we added a lot more natural light sources, so you will have much more cinematic experiences going through them.
Wow, look at that lighting, man. Woo! I just, I want a pirate base in a cave, like right now, today.
For the first release, there will be no missions, but it's hopefully very soon will be remedied shortly. And also for the first release, the caves will be walkable on foot only, like no vehicle entrances, no ship entrances, but the workflow is flexible enough to accommodate those once we get to those. Like this first release is mostly about showing the community the visual we've developed for this archetype. Additional archetypes that are like we are scheduled to work on in the next 1 year. It's gonna be the rock archetype, which will replace the existing caves. Then we also have the acidic archetype, which will fit into Ariel and less parts of Stanton, where you have like those bubbling acid pools, sulfur pools. Then there's also the ice archetype, which will be great for Microtech and its moons, for example.
Wow, sulfur pools.
And the last one that's actually scheduled is the overgrown one, which will also work well on Microtech in the forests and on Hurston. We as a team are quite proud of the experience we managed to achieve with the new cave archetype that's coming out. It was really fun for us to do and like make this excursion and try to figure out all the problems that come with that. We're looking forward to building all the other archetypes as well. The established workflow now will just go much faster and hopefully result in some really cool looking...
Black Dream Hunk saying, man, caves are so boring. Seems we are going backwards. And I think he means backwards, not backers, because if he's saying that and then he's basically saying that there's more backers because caves are boring, then they should probably keep making boring caves, if that's what you're saying, BDH. But I know that you're not. I know that you mean backwards. And what BDH is saying, he's saying caves are so boring and it seems like we are going backwards. And I would say that the fact that they're there now is a step that many people forgot about. And that it could be viewed that, you know, basically what we're looking or delving into is continued gameplay through caves. Like, what am I saying in terms of gameplay loops that we could see we want? We definitely want ropes. We want spelunking. We want to be able to, like, take a rope, tie it on something, rappel down the rope. We definitely need that for caves. I don't want all caves to be so symmetrical that there's no challenge to these caves. These caves should be, you know, imperfect. In a perfect way, if that makes any sense, you know? So I definitely want to see that. I definitely want to see being able to possess portions of caves or going into the cave, making it your own, posting a base there. You know, we've seen some missions going into caves. We know the desync kind of throws us off when we're playing. I get that. But like really... These are all like very early implementations. These are all very early iterations. And you're seeing slow progression. Is it good? No. Is it backwards? I don't think so. I kind of disagree with BDH, but I get where he's coming from. Because to him, maybe this particular portion of design is not his cup of tea. Perhaps he doesn't like it. But I can see the progression. I can see where they're going. And I personally think that the biggest deal with caves right now is essentially giving them all utility. And the only way you can give caves utility is by actually placing a base in there or having a reason to go back to these caves other than missioning. And I say that purely on a PvP kind of level. I understand on PvE level, people may not understand that. But I think everybody can relate to wanting their own little hideout. Everybody wants their own little hideout where they can take their loot, keep it there, and, you know, make sure it's safe and have an organization if you need it, you know? How discoverable are these caves going to be as we continue forward on this path? I'm not quite sure. But you could imagine with all the systems that will eventually be in the game, you know, I know we have one right now. Okay, but we're going to get more. And if you think about the number of caves throughout all these systems that we're going to have, man, there's going to probably be some caves where like you could chill at and maybe make it like your home away from home where you store loot in and nobody's going to fucking know it exists, you know, because it would be so vast at that point at 100 systems that having a cave out in the middle of nowhere on a very large moon or planet and having a small little hubby hole in that planet would essentially be like a hideaway for you. And I don't know how discoverable that would be. I don't, but I that's kind of where I go when I think about caves and what I want to see from the design, from the game design in regards to caves. I think that would just make it much more, what am I trying to say? It would have more juice. It's the, like, to me, that's the reason for caves,
New places the player can experience.
Space dungeons, right, Ted?
Alpha 318 is slated to bring with it a number of new aspects to the persistent universe. From the new rivers, the arena racetrack, the Korea revamp, the prison additions, and new sand caves that we've already discussed this quarter, to the cargo refactor, hull scraping, and persistent entity streaming, and more that we'll be covering over our next 5 weeks. But occasionally, we like to look even farther ahead and explore the earliest prospects of work that's only now just beginning. And this week, we've got Star Citizen Live game director Todd Pappy to share with us plans for our new player experience, the first in-game tutorial since Old Gunny tried to help us pilot our way out of the asteroid hangar oh so long ago.
Oh, wow. That is cool. By the way, last week's stream, we actually had Elliot here, who was part of COD Imperium, chilling in the chat with us. So, I was not even aware of it. In fact, the funniest part was while we were watching Inside Star Citizen last week and Elliot was with us, I had paused it and started talking for a very long time, and it was his face in the background, and he kept saying here in chat, he was like, DG, can you please unpause the video? Yeah. So, Elliot, thank you for stopping by last week. That was awesome to have you. Apparently, even though I wasn't aware that you were there, I only found out afterwards. But, Elliot, thank you for joining the show last week. That's awesome when we have devs come in. We occasionally do have devs come in. I know Donnie likes to stop in here a lot. And the cool thing is, like, they listen. And it's really important when we're talking about a show that we're critiquing and a game that we all play and what we want to see from the game. It's cool when the devs are actually in the chat with you, listening to your opinions. That makes me feel like the show's that much more worth doing. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing up, Elliot. We really enjoyed having your company here, dude. I'll make sure to be a little bit more aware next time.
The scale and scope of our game, there's a huge learning curve.
I can't promise it.
Obviously, our community has been fantastic, with the help and support for the new players coming on. I think with any game of any size, there needs to be some sort of new player experience to help break down those barriers. We used to have step-by-step, and more story-based.
Man, Pappy's getting a lot more gray, isn't he?
Introduction, for players. And the issue with that is, as soon as any new mechanics came online or anything like that, then we'd have to go in and basically rebuild it and adjust it, and the upkeep on it was really time-consuming.
Still waiting. I'm Lucas Baramsko, but everyone knows me as Gilly.
With our new player experience aspect that we're working towards, it's really taking the player not only from basically the front end and having choices there so that the player can either opt in or opt out, but it's training them in their hab, it's training them to their first store, it's training them over to the spaceport, how to get out of the hangar, get into your ship, where do you need to click in the cockpit.
It's going to teach you how to click buttons on a mouse. It's also going to teach you how to breathe. It's going to teach you how to go to the bathroom in real life. It's also going to teach you to get out of your mother's basement. There's many things that this game's going to do for you, and Todd has got the answers for everybody, especially those that need help with breathing. That is really the most important thing. How to deal with a 30K, says Brockle.
Then from there,
I remember that. I remember that win. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, buddy.
Basically, kind of get you up to speed
Good to
with
see you too,
ship
Limitless.
combat as well as FPS combat. Right now, the teams are working towards FPS HUD that is being built for S42, so that it's got basically contextual hints that are up all the time, and you're in different states. So it's basically player interaction experience that we're working on, and we've spec'd out, for S42 as well as for the persistent universe. So we're waiting on them to do the first pass on the HUD and first pass on the.
Okay. Somebody needs to tell Todd to like on his game microphone that's up against his mouth. Somebody needs to be like, Todd, you need to move back and. Todd, please move that away from your mouth. like it's too much.
System, and then from there that trickles down to us. We need to reskin it and do it. Regarding the subsumption hooks and everything like that, we've already got all that spec'd out. The teams are working towards that right now. Front end experience, we just need to make sure that one of our team from USPU works on that and builds that out. Then there's all the signage and everything like that in our landing zones. Our branding team is going through and looking at that experience and doing the test on Area 18 at first, and then we'll be taking that to Lowerville, New Babbage, and Horizon. It's a work in progress right now, but we're really working towards getting this out to the players, and this is just like a smaller bite size.
It would have been great if they actually had this a year ago. Like the introduction tutorial, like here's what's going on, here's how to play the game, because look at the influx of players that came in that did not get this. So, like a little bit of a fail on Cloud Imperium's part for not thinking about onboarding new players. A little bit of that. A little bit too late, but better late than never, I always say. And I think that's going to be pretty big for the game. I think that's going to be great, especially when you're seeing all these big YouTubers come in, like Ali, Jack Frags, etc. All these new big guys coming in, splashing around like big old whales in the pond, as it were. And more people are aware of the title. This needed to be in the game a year ago, at least. So I'm glad that they're focusing on it now. I think that will help keep player retention, or that'll help at least convert more gamers into regular players.
New player experience.
What's up, DY?
And we'll be working on a much larger experience when we get closer to switching this over to beta.
I like Windlord's comment.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that the EU Sandbox 2 team continues to build out the world beneath Star Citizen's worlds with new cave types, including sand,
this episode
acid,
was a D.
and soon
This
ice.
was not a good episode.
And that all those players out there currently helping new citizens get their start in the verse have help on the way as the new player experience continues to develop into the next year.
Party. We're gonna
don't
spice
forget
it up.
that Ship Showdown is still underway, and it's your chance to determine the best of the best of Star Citizen ships and vehicles. And if you haven't seen some of the commercials and songs that have been created by the community, do yourself a favor and check those out.
Oh, yeah. Here's one today. I want to show you guys a song that we found just last week on the stream here. I just put it out today, but because we're shadow banned, I only have 100 views on it. But it's entitled DG Sings Me and My Pussy. And here we go. Let's see what's going on here. You've got Dusty Skies and Dragonflies singing Me and My Pisces. And this was put in our Look at This DG section. Let's listen to this jam. Let's see if it's good. Fingers, I need you to judge this. It's like one of the songs Jared was talking about. Let's do this. Fingers, my lyrical genius in chat right now.
Anvil Pisces.
With room for both of us, our gear, and a roadie, it's damn near perfect.
And it has just enough weaponry to handle any outlaws we might encounter.
I absolutely love this ship, so we wrote a song about it. Here it is. Me and my Pisces, we'll go everywhere. We'll go everywhere without care. Me and my Pisces.
First off, I would just love first off, before this even pops off here, I would like to shame my audience for having such dirty minds. Let me just shame them really quick. I didn't even have this idea.
Shame.
The title of this video is X-rated, and it was created by one of our fans. So I would just like to put that out there before we get into the next part of the video here. Let's see. All right. It It was Walker. It was literally Walker right here. And you can see where this enters into my brain. You see, I'm very immature here. We all know this. And once I read this comment here, it's pretty much game over for me. And then I start to the moment takes over. The moment literally takes over. Get in my pussy. Get in my pussy. See, that's one of the songs. That's one of the songs.
Extreme Vag.
Me and my pussy, la 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 la, ooh la 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 la, la la, get in my pussy. So that's one of the songs that Jared was actually talking about. And thank you tonight for watching the Inside Star Citizen review, which is not safe for work, apparently. Probably not safe for anybody.